that's maybe just my approach, but even if it's scary, you've got to do it. You've got to lean into it. What's the downside to pitching a Star Wars game at Lucasfilm Games in George Lucas's old office? I mean, what's the downside to that? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but you still have that experience.
But first, a word from our sponsors.
Have you heard the flavored air category is quickly becoming the leading alternative to vaping and smoking? It's a whole new movement towards better habits, led by today's sponsor, Fume. Fume is an award-winning flavored air device that draws flavors into your mouth. It's not a vape though. It fills the void of ditching a bad habit because you still have something to reach for. It also has non-toxic flavors and it's a guilt-free alternative. There's no batteries, so you don't need to recharge. You could compare vaping to a sticky soda, while Fume cores are closer to herbal teas. Fume has lots of delicious flavors to choose from, like crisp mint, orange vanilla, maple pepper, spearmint ice. Listen, I went with orange vanilla, and I actually enjoyed it. With flavored air, you can satisfy your oral fixation through a passive diffusion system that utilizes no electronics, vapor, or combustion. Fume has served over 300,000 customers, and you could be the next success story. For a limited time, use my code It's a Gundam to get your free Fume base when you order the Journey Pack. It's the all-new magnetic stand for your Fume device. Head to tryfume.com. That's tryfum.com and use the code It's a Gundam or scan my QR code on the screen to get your free Fume base when you order your Journey Pack today. Star Wars Outlaws, or as some have coined it, Ma'am Solo, is releasing this month.
Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.
But every step of the way, IGN has had exclusive updates on this absolutely mammoth of a game. One of the first IGN videos focused on the, and I quote, first open world Star Wars game.
The back-to-back successes with both The Division and The Division 2.
Right.
The Division trailers promised one thing and delivered another. Like meeting a girl on Hinge and finding out that she uses filters religiously, to the point of where she no longer really realizes what she looks like. That was The Division. And The Division 2, I didn't even finish the demo. That's how tired of the game I was. Frankly, if this game is going to mirror The Division, it will be a buggy piece of shit that will overpromise and underdeliver. It's a theme here, really. The first IGN coverage is what you'd expect, a 21-minute snow job, while staring at character models that look plastic and lifeless. If this is next-gen gaming, it looks like it's 2 generations old. Outlaws is about as open world as Starfield, but it'll probably be smaller and more linear. The first 10 minutes of the gameplay trailer, first look, starts off with a bang. When I first saw this video on Twitter, the explosion was rendered so poorly that I thought people were like making memes and using AI to, make fake clips of this game. But it turns out that this is actually real. It really looks this bad.
Holy hell.
Developers actually looked at this clip and they were like, but literally this game has already gone gold. What we see here is most likely what we're going to see day one. Until they patch it, because that's all these companies do.
We're going in next. Okay, that's one mouth down. You good, buddy?
The Sarlacc pit's mouth is just a generic cave now. Wow. Oh, it's dead. That's supposed to make it make sense. The writing for the mission is so formulaic Star Wars tropes. Oh, the Jawa wants something. And while you're away, they're ready to strip your ship or droid. Haven't seen that plot line before a million times in Star Wars. Didn't they recently just do that with The Mandalorian like a year ago? When the lead character chick escapes the pit, someone throws a thermal detonator at her. And she survives without a single scratch. It's a thermal detonator.
The mighty Jabba asks why he must pay 50,000.
Yotto.
Because he's holding a thermal detonator.
I don't know why everybody's freaking out. Thermal detonators just make you jump really high.
And then someone just steals the tooth and a chase ensues. Why the f would they want a Sarlacc tooth?
How does it feel to have lived long enough to see all of your favorite franchises go down in flames?
I'm fine. I'm perfectly
Oh wait, the guy who wrote The Division and some other trash Far Cry games that have really stupid outlandish stories wrote this. So, it makes sense, it's on brand.
Kavari is well aware of, having written for Far Cry 4, 5 and 6 as well as The Division.
Next up, we got a sneaky mission that shows off just how trash the NPC AI is in this game.
All this for a tooth.
None of the NPCs notice the explosion or know where it is when it literally goes off directly next to them.
This looks horrible.
I'm not even joking, this game has NPCs that will just walk up to you to be shot. This is Morrowind level of programming. IGN's final preview of Star Wars Outlaws is a 9-minute masterclass of shilling a product. Really? I should take notes.
The studio handling the effort is Massive Entertainment, the talented developers of The Division.
Once again, they remind you that this game was made by the same people that made The Division, which explains why the NPCs all have Down syndrome.
Don't get me wrong, there is plenty to do in Outlaws, but those side quests and activities feel a lot more organic than they do in the publisher's other games.
The 10-minute gameplay trailer was so paint by the numbers, I could puke. Gaming journalism is so full of shit, they don't even bother to wipe their own asses anymore.
Every location oozes Star Wars authenticity. From the lighting, to the architecture, to the NPCs milling about, Massive has, based on what I've seen so far, done an excellent job of setting an authentic Star Wars stage.
Oozes Star Wars authenticity. The sneaking around and hitting characters in the back of the head to knock them out wouldn't seem so stupid if this animation wasn't used for everything. This girl can even one-shot a stormtrooper when their helmets are made to survive kinetic blasts, laser bolt shots. The suit can even protect you from the cold void of space for a little while. Oh well, what does it matter?
As such, the blaster battles felt like they had meaningful stakes, and the stealth gameplay had a bit of weight to it because I knew that I'd be up against it if I messed up.
What the f***? This piece of shit.
This voiceover is great because the IGN reporter is telling you how consequences have actions, Pim. The gameplay is as bad as the AI dude. Like, he walks up, whiffs a shot, and then they all react and bunch up on him. This is amazing. It's meaningful stakes. Never change, IGN. Holy shit.
Naturally, with stealth comes lockpicking, and it's here too in the form of data spikes.
Oh, data spikes, where you can lockpick a door with a giant help sign flashing in the corner. Never change, Ubisoft. Just keep the intrusive stuff up. We love it.
I even like how Outlaws handles these larger weapons. They can't be reloaded, meaning that once you fire all the rounds, you just drop the empty gun and go back to your trusty blasters.
Did he just tell me that the energy weapon can't be reloaded, but her blaster, which is an energy weapon, can be reloaded? Okay. I understand that this is to keep people from being OP, which probably tells you everything you need to know about the video game, but good lord. It's kind of like something you could only... Who cares?
The bike controls well. It almost feels like driving a boat in Wave Race 64 in that it's pretty fast and arcadey and maneuverable, but hardly handles like it's on rails.
Oh my god, this game actually looks genuinely bad. And you're watching IGN try to tell you how it's awesome. I bet they'll give it like a 7 at the very least, or an 8.
And while yes, there will inevitably be a day one patch, as most games have nowadays, it was still disappointing to see as many annoying little, admittedly mostly visual and harmless, glitches as I did.
Lovely to know that the game is buggy, like we couldn't tell by looking at the damn video you've edited and posted up. But the day one patch will hopefully help with that. Is this where we are in gaming, where literally games launch broken all the time, and then you have to wait for the day one patch that might make it play a little better than before? This game will never fully be fixed. It's a Ubisoft game. Assassin's Creed 3 still has bugs that were never addressed, and that game's like 15 years old. Needless to say, the exclusive previews went over poorly with fans. IGN's glowing endorsement of a game that was clearly buggy as hell even in their video led to mass dislikes and negative comments. But don't worry, IGN began deleting the negative comments, which leads to more backlash. What a treat! This was an absolutely lovely waste of time and of my life. Stick to IGN if you want the worst gaming coverage on the net, next to Kotaku. Hell, IGN even has a store now where they sell manga and figures. So it gives you a clear idea that IGN's going the way of the dodo. But if that's not enough, and a clear sign that IGN hiding comments is probably something they have to do, because Ubisoft instructed it.
German YouTube channel removes their Star Wars Outlaws preview video after admitting a third-party agency had to approve it.
Video games now feel like political campaigns in America, needing to control every narrative to influence the public's opinion of their candidate. And much like politics, they will overpromise and underdeliver. I know, I've said it before in the video.
Peter Semlet shared that they removed their Star Wars Outlaw preview video from their channel. As translated by Deep L, one of the channel's owners stated, "Hi, Peter here. We've taken the Star Wars video offline, not because we wanted to sweep something under the carpet or anything, but because it should never have been published in the first place."
Yada yada yada, right? Here's another post.
"I completely understand the arguments that we made here, and that's not correct. I had the opportunity to play the game for 4 hours, and it was edited into over an hour of video. As part of the review process, the entire video was thrown back to us, and an intermediary agency, not Ubisoft, asked for a lot of changes, especially for the wording at the beginning, but since I personally thought the game was really cool, I didn't see that as a big problem. This was a huge miscalculation."
Working with sponsors, dude, and the intermediary, that person's just your go-between. So Ubisoft saw it, and they were like, no, no, no! And then your intermediary gets it. And they're like, here are the
things that need to change because you're stupid and ugly, and you got a big nose.
So then you have to, like, change it again. It goes back to the intermediary, it goes to Ubisoft, and they tell you to eat more bird shit, and so on. Also, this one last piece says,
as for the wording of the opening of the video, sources who were able to view the video before Peter Semlet removed it from their channel, according to the Park Place, Semlet encouraged viewers to pre-order the game and share that he liked the game.
What you gonna do, right? It's big money, baby, and YouTube don't pay. Sometimes you gotta dance with the video game devil. Well, that's it for me. You know you're supposed to rate, comment, and subscribe. The closer I get to 1 million, the more likely you're gonna piss off some liberal at YouTube. So chop chop. Let's stick it to the system, baby.